What's up, y'all? It is your girl Tree from the Tree Tip Show. We are live. Hey, and I miss going live because we missed it last week. So I am so excited to be live with you guys. I'm just so excited to express my opinion about something, anything, because I sit around here talking to myself when I'm not working, right? Anyway, so let me start off by saying today, which is Thursday, 5 o'clock Central Standard Time, 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, we usually go live on the Tree Tip Show. I'm usually with my sis, Lady Rashonda Freeman. She's not feeling well today, so she couldn't go live with me. I didn't want, her going live, and she hasn't been feeling well. Anyway, she's doing okay though. Keep her in your prayers and all of that. But she is doing okay. I heard her voice. I talked to her husband. She's doing well. Okay, so we did miss last week, right? Because of personal issues on my part, and I think personal issues on her part. It just the time, and then we tried to put it off, and it still didn't line up. I had to leave the studio, so I had a lot going on anyway. But I've been wanting to chat about the Tyree Nichols case, and I want to get right into it because, and I keep looking out my window. I'm not gonna move the camera and all that, but it's snowing out here, so it's so beautiful. Anyway, I want to get into the Tyree Nichols case because, child, if you are a parent, period, I'm a parent of all boys, all males. Um, so it really touched me in a different way. And I think it touched all parents, period. But mothers of young men, it touched us different. It hit different for us. And so I've been following it. It's not a lot going on right now, but it's a lot that was uncovered in the beginning of this all. If you don't know about this case, let me give a brief refresher. But if you don't know about this case, what rock are you sleeping under? Because if you don't know about this case, you should know about this case, especially if you are the same melanation as me, right? So I think, yeah, if you don't know, I'm kind of scared about that. But anyway, Tyree Nichols is a young black man going home in Memphis, Tennessee, and he was stopped by Memphis police officers. They initially, and I think they're still saying this, the police officers that stopped him, not the police department, but the police officers that stopped him, they initially said that they stopped him because of reckless driving. Now, we all know that there are cameras everywhere, right? There's cameras all up and down neighborhoods, all up and down the streets. Not to mention body cams of the police officers and the cameras on the car. So they said, they meaning the police officers, said initially that they stopped him because he was driving crazy or something erratically. However, from the videos that they released to the public, didn't seem that way at all. They didn't release any videos that showed him driving recklessly, number one. Number two, the chief of police in Memphis made a statement and said they have yet to see any footage of this young man driving erratically or driving crazy or driving, like he was under the influence or anything. They have not seen that footage. However, if you haven't seen the tapes, it's all over everywhere. I know Twitter has it. I know YouTube has it. It's all over it. I don't know if YouTube has it. I take that. Yeah, YouTube does have it. But it's everywhere. It's four, as far as I know, it's four different videos. Now the first video that shows when they first made contact with Tyre, I guess their camera was cut off when or whatever, but when the camera comes on, the body cam comes on, they're already at Tyre. And they are, just like the chief of police said, they're already at a 10. They've escalated something. They're irate with this man, really, basically. They're cussing at him. They're telling him to get on the ground, and he's already on the ground. They just going crazy on him, just verbally cussing the man out. And he is sitting there and he's saying, what are you guys doing? Why did you say, I just want to go home? Like, what's going on? And then he's like, okay, I'm on the ground, because they're constantly yelling. Now, this is what I realized, and I've been knowing this. The police, when they know they're being recorded, they start yelling out statements as if you're not complying with them, but you really are. And I guess in this situation, they didn't realize the cameras on the cop was rolling when they're telling this young man to get on the ground, and he's already on the ground. And then they're cussing him out. He never said one cuss word. I never heard one cuss word from him. It seemed like from get-go, this man was begging for his life. Then they started just roughing him up while he's on the ground, and they initiated a taser. I don't know if it hit him, but I believe what was going through his mind is what would have been going through any human being mind. I have to get away from these people because they're about to kill me. One, I don't know why they pulled me over. Two, I don't know why they pulled me over. Three, I don't even know at this time why I'm even out of my car. I don't know what's going on with that. And so I think I think they I think they well, not think, the idiots dropped the ball. They basically dropped the ball. I don't even know why they pulled this young man over. But anyway, when they threw out the taser, he ran. He was already close by his house, his mom's house, his house. He took off running, and they so big they couldn't catch him. Now let's go back to the size of this young man. He was all soaking wet. His mom said 150 pounds. He had Crohn's disease. This guy had surgeries on his heart in different places. So he took off running. When he took off running, of course, they were all big guys over him. They couldn't catch him. And so they finally caught up with him a couple of houses down from his mom's house. He almost made it home, y'all. When they caught up with him, that's when the beating took place. And the first video with the initial traffic stop, that body cam, okay, it's over because he beat them running for his life, because he running for his life. So they caught him a couple of houses down from his mom's house. Baby almost made it home, but he didn't. However, when they caught him, their body cams, they didn't initiate those body cams. But Memphis, on the streets, on certain streets out there in different neighborhoods, I guess they have these cameras, sky cams is what they call them. And they are basically put there to catch criminal activity, what it did catch that night. So that camera caught them beating this young man to a pulp, beating him out of control, pepper spraying him out of control. When the officer was pepper spraying this young man, it looked like he was trying to kill an insect or something. It was so much pepper spray flying that the officers that was beating him, and that's how God worked, got pepper sprayed along with him. Yeah, he was handcuffed and they was beating him. They was kicking him like they was kicking a ball. One officer kicked him so hard, and I'm going to talk, I think it's this officer that I'm going to talk about a little bit later on. He kicked him so hard that he messed up his leg. I guess he allegedly claims that he had a prior injury on his leg. But if you got a prior injury on your leg, why is you kicking someone? I've had a lot of injuries on my legs, ankle injuries, toe injuries, calf injuries, all of that. Been shot in my leg, left leg, all of that. Will not be kicking anyone with an injury, no. Because when your leg is hurt, you're handicapped. And that's a big handicap. Hard to take a shower, hard to go upstairs, hard to come downstairs, hard to do anything, hard to drive anything. So for you to have an injured leg and you kick this young man, yeah. So the sky cam caught them beating this young man. The sky cam caught everything, basically. The sky cam caught the fire department or ambulance, EMT people coming out, just standing around. No one rendered this young man help. The sky cam also caught one of the officers taking cell phone pictures of this man after they beat him. He's taking cell phone pictures. Now, there's a lot of rumors behind this officer, and I don't like getting into the rumors because I like facts. I'll give my opinion about something, my hypothesis on things, but I don't know about all the rumors. But it's something to that rumor, though. It might not be. It's something to it. I don't know, because this officer, it was, the rumor came out that it was one of the officers, either his baby mama, his ex-wife, or his ex-girlfriend. You pick out what you want to call her. She works at, supposedly, allegedly works at FedEx with Tyre. And allegedly, they were saying something about it was a lot of stuff being said that Tyre was messing with this. I mean, not messing with her, what, starting a relationship or in a relationship with this young lady. However, his father denied that Tyre was in. The family is stating that that was a that's a rumor, that he was not in a relationship with one of the cops' exes or presence or whatever. Now, my thing with that is, one, not being disrespectful, but this is true. There's a lot of females that my sons have been in relations with that I've never met, that I probably don't even know. And now when they talk about these young ladies, I don't know who they're speaking of. So it could be possible that he was having a relationship with someone that his family might not have known about. I don't want to say it was this officer's ex because we don't know. But that could be possible that his family don't know of everyone or a particular person that he was developing a relationship with or even in a relationship with. So, but I want to get back to this officer. So after that rumor had came out and everything like that, this officer, the video came out of this officer taking cell phone pictures of Tyre after they beat him up, right? That's telltale for me right there. Why would you take pictures after y'all beat him up and not before to see if this the person or whatever? So kind of weird. But he took and sent the pictures to 5 people. They said he sent it to 2 other officers. They said he sent it to another person that worked in the police department. They said he also sent it to a civilian female. Now, what I also want to say too about the rumor situation with Tyree allegedly supposed to be messing with or messing around with a young lady that one of the officers know. What I want to say about that too is that they might not have, even if it is a young lady that's associated with one of the officers that Tyree worked with, they probably was just real good friends. You know, have you ever just worked with people that you're really tight with, you real cool with? So that could have been it too. But I'm going to tell you this, it's not a coincidence that this same officer that these rumors came out about is taking cell phone pictures of Tyree beaten face and sent them to an unknown female individual. That's to me, that's not a coincidence. You can think what you want. To me, it's just not a coincidence, y'all. Something is up with that. Something, and we still don't know why they even pulled this man over. So it's a reason why they pulled him over, and it's a reason why they got at him like they got at him from get go. And if you watch the video, you will see it was never, can I see your license and registration? You were driving erratically. It was cuss words, every name they called this kid, but the child of God. So something or somebody told them to pull that kid over. Well, he's not a kid, young man over. That we know. Somebody or something told them to pull that young man over. How is it that a rumor come out about this cop's ex, and then how is it next thing we see is the same cop taking cell phone pictures of Tyree being face, and then how is it that we hear next that he sent that picture to a female civilian? Come on now. It don't take a rocket scientist to put this together. But we're just gonna go off of the facts right now. We're gonna wait and see how this develops, right? So yeah, they after they beat him, they eventually, I guess they took him to the hospital. They went to his mom's house. And his mom, in her interview with Don Lemon, she said that she believed that when they made it to her house, they was already starting to cover up this. They told that woman that her son was in custody under arrest. He was in the hospital because he was sprayed with pepper spray. They use this pepper spray thing to the max. Pepper spray, and even when you're looking at the videos, all you hear about is the pepper spray with the cops. So that's something huge that they have to report and do all kind of routine things with when they put pepper spray on a person. So they told the his mom that he was pepper sprayed in the hospital. She asked, "Well, can I go and see him?" They said no, because he's in custody. So mom just thinking, not knowing, and I guess she like, well, what is he in custody for? Because, and they told her drunk driving. He was under the influence. He was drunk driving, something like that. And because she said that she was like, he don't even drink like that. This kid is a skateboarder. He liked taking photos of the sunset. He don't even drink like that, is what his mom was going through her mind. So next thing she know, early in the morning, she gets a call from the hospital. One of the doctors called her and asked her why she's not there. And she told him that the police told her not to go to the hospital because her son was in custody, and the doctor told her that her son had coded, his organs are shutting down, and she needed to get there. So she makes it to the hospital and she looks at her son. And this baby is, I'm about to show this picture because his family posted this for the world to see. His family posted this for the world to see. And I think it kind of puts me in a mindset of Emmett Till's mom, how she wanted an open casket for the world to see how they did her son. And so I want to post this. Let me see if I can. And y'all bear with me. I'm learning how to share this stuff, but I did good. I did good. I did good the last time. I think I did good. Okay. Share screen. Let's see. Share screen. We gonna go to I guess it's this one. Yep, it's this one. Okay. So this is this baby, how they beat this boy. The mom said they broke his neck. And when you see the video of them beating him, his neck can't be nothing but broke. Those officers, each one of them looked like they weighed over 250 pounds, maybe 300 pounds. And they was kicking and beating this young man while he was handcuffed. She said his nose was an S. That's the truth. You can see this. It's so many contusions on this baby face. And this is what that's what his mom and dad seen when they made it to the hospital. After being told by the popos, the police, that they baby was pepper sprayed. That's what they was told. No one never said that he got beat up. He was on life support. He didn't code it. So yeah. So I wanted to get into that. Now, when I first started off, I started saying that this will remind you of like a Rodney King beating, what we saw. The only difference is I think it was worse than Rodney King for me because it was 5 black officers beating a black man. I mean, I'm born and raised in South Central Los Angeles, so I have witnessed police brutality by black officers to other black citizens. I have witnessed it. But to witness 5 big black officers beating this young man, chased him down like they was hunting to kill. Because that's what they did. They hunted him down to kill him. They chased this young man down and beat him to a pulp, like his mama said. So, yeah, and then he, of course, he succumbed to those injuries. He did not make it. Once you see the video, if you have seen the video, you know why he did not survive. He got beat by 5 big officers while he was handcuffed. And the EMT that made it to the scene didn't even check his pulse, didn't even check to see if he was breathing right off. I think eventually they tried to do something, but they didn't do nothing. They didn't do anything. So they got let go too, and they should have. Everybody on the scene really should have got let go. Anyway, so what's interesting to me is because this was all caught on video. And when we as the public, we tend to think when things are caught on video, it's an open and shut case, right? And a lot of times, not a lot, but in some cases it's not. And so what I was interested in and seeing, and I am, and I think I'm getting ready for it, y'all, because I believe this is going to trial. Yes. I don't think that they're going to offer them a deal. The public don't want a deal. The family don't want a deal offered. Um, and I don't think they're going to admit guilt. So I think it's going to trial. And I've been getting into a lot of court cases lately. I've always been intrigued by trials and litigations and the attorneys and different things that happen in court and how it's all delivered and set up and everything. But I heard that two of them got really good attorneys, really good defense attorney. I think they got the same defense attorney, but we're going to look at a video because our good friend Don Lemon, he interviewed their defense attorney and he gave some little nuggets to me on the defense of his clients. Now, one of them, I want to, let me see. Hold on. One of these cops. Okay. Let me share my screen. See, I'm getting good at this, y'all. Hey. Okay. One of these cops, this one, I believe, Justin Smith. He, I think, is the lieutenant. I'm not for sure. Don't quote me on that, but we're gonna go over some documentation in a minute. So we're gonna see. We're gonna go over his statement that he prepared with his attorney and sent to the police department investigation, whoever investigating this on their part. But anyway, when I first saw the video of the attorneys, his attorney seemed like he was going to try to exclude him from the others. Now, from the Don Lemon interview, which is a few weeks after the initial interview of the defense attorneys, he said he's taken on this cop, ex-cop's case as well. So the defense attorney that we're going to be looking at his interview, he's representing Justin Smith and he's representing Desmond Mills. And I wanted to show this because, the police always showing everybody else mugshots. So I wanted to show these criminals mugshots, these murderers mugshots, along with their police pictures as well. Because as you can see, the looks are totally different. They all still look alike, but those smiles, baby, I don't think we're going to see them teeth no more. I don't think we're going to see them smiles no more. Anyway, and he looked like he didn't, yeah, don't let me get into that. Anyway, let me stop sharing these scums is what they are. Scums, straight low lives. Anyway, so when I saw the initial interview of the attorneys, before they showed the videos of what the cops did, they had already arrested them and all of that stuff, and they had already sought out legal advice or retained attorneys. Anyway, the video, I could tell that one attorney, I could tell Justin Smith attorney, he was already starting to kind of separate him from this whole situation. So what I want to do is, I was gonna go to my good sis, Miss Legalista, It's a tongue twister. I love it. But she is awesome. She's an attorney. I like looking at most of the attorneys' YouTube shows, the attorney content creators, because they are, especially when you're talking about stuff like this, because they are going to give you what's real. They're going to give you the legal side of it. They're going to tell you that, and they break it down in layman terms for us that did not take the bar, that did not take law class courses and all of that stuff. So, but before that, I want to play this interview with Don Lemon and him. Let me see if I can, how does this work? Picture in, see. I don't know. I want to put it up. I had it up before. I did this. Just got to get it. I know it is this one that I really want. All right, let me just do it like this, see how it works, because this is probably how I have to do it anyway. Anyway, little technical difficulties, but I want to show y'all this video of Don Lemon. Hold on 1 second. Let me see where it's not this one. I showed that. It is, okay, I found it. So let me show y'all. And it's interesting. It's 6 minutes long. We're going to go ahead and listen to the whole thing. Let's see. I want to. Okay. Let me see here how this is. Okay, there it is. That's how I wanted it. Because I wanted to talk about this. But let me go here because I want to. Look at me. I'm getting good. Hey. Okay. So, y'all. So, Don Lemon, he interviewed the defense attorney. So let's watch this, and I want to see if y'all could catch some of the things that this defense attorney was saying about his clients, and I want to see if you can catch one defense move that they're going to try to give in trial to get these officers off. Watch. Let me play it. Hold on.
One remains in jail. The other 4 were released on bond. Desmond Mills Jr. is one of those 4 officers posting his $250,000 bond last night, and he is back home now with his family. So speaking of that officer, I'm joined now by the attorney for Desmond Mills Jr., Blake Ballin. Blake, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. The police chief in an interview just a short while ago said that there is no evidence to substantiate the claim of reckless driving. They haven't found any evidence in video or otherwise. Right. What's your reaction to that?
Proof's in the pudding. I need to see it. I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen the video that we're all waiting to see. Haven't seen anything about the stop. From a defense standpoint, this is the beginning stages of things, and we are looking forward to seeing what evidence they have.
The officers had a duty of care. It was said by the police chief that they did not follow the Memphis Police Department guidelines for duty of care. They did not render care. Yes. Obviously, there is also the kidnapping charge as well. How do you respond to that?
Oh, well, specifically focus on that kidnapping charge. And of course, having not seen this video, it's difficult for me to talk about the facts. But to say that, an officer who crosses a line or does something illegal in detaining somebody who's committed an aggravated kidnapping is a dangerous precedent to set.
Why do you say that?
Well, every time a Fourth Amendment violation occurs, every time somebody claims they have been wrongfully arrested by a police officer, whether an egregious violation or a slight one, are officers now looking at being charged with an A felony and looking at up to 25 years in jail? It's going to make it.
Yeah, you see what he's talking about? You see what he's saying? He is giving us he's giving us the defense, that he's giving us his mindset on what the defense is going to look like for these officers. They're charged with numerous charges on them. However, kidnap is one of them. What gets me about what he said is, and don't know if it's gonna stick. It might stick because they black anyway. But if you feel that you've been arrested wrongfully, then you can file charges against the officers for kidnap. But what he's not saying is, yeah, you can file charges against, you could go and file charges against anybody, but is the district attorney going to pick it up? In this case, the district attorney did, sir.
Difficult for officers to do their jobs.
There is the attempted murder charge, or the murder charge, I should say, second-degree murder charge. You believe that that is an overcharge and difficult to prove? Why?
So that requires that they prove that Mr. Mills acted with a reasonable degree of certainty with regard to his actions, that his actions were certain to cause death. And that's just simply not the case. When this video comes out, I expect that Mr. Mills will not be delivering blows that cause death.
Why do you believe that?
Because I've sat down with Mr. Mills, I've looked him in the eye, I know the kind of person he is. I've talked with other people who've seen the video, and I just don't believe that Mr. Mills is capable of committing that act.
What did he tell you about the confrontation?
I cannot.
Has learned that of the 5 officers.
I messed up. Let me go back to where we was. But I wanted to stop right there because this attorney says that Mr. Mills did not deliver blows that cause death. So what is he talking about? What does that mean? If he delivered a blow, that could have contributed to his death. And it did. All of those blows did. So how are you going to determine? See, this is where we're going to get technical in court, y'all. This is where we're going to get technical. Because there's 5 officers that's arrested, right? On the video, it's really hard to tell which officer is which until they're talking, unless some of the videos, people have pointed out arrows, who is who. Anyway, but it's going to get a little technical there, because to be charged with second-degree murder, I bet they're going to have to prove, the state is going to have to prove that those blows that, say for instance, his client, Desmond Mills, or Mills, whatever his name is, those socks that he did on Tyre is what caused his death. That's like So you see where they're going with that. It's going to be a real slippery slope. I'm kind of interested in seeing the autopsy report. That's what I'm interested in seeing. But let's go back to the video.
You know, an officer who crosses a line or does something illegal in detaining somebody who's committed an aggravated kidnapping is a dangerous precedent to set.
Why do you say that?
Well, every time a Fourth Amendment violation occurs, every time somebody claims they have been wrongfully arrested by a police officer, whether an egregious violation or a slight one, are officers now looking at being charged with an A felony and looking at up to 25 years in jail? It's going to make it difficult for officers to do their jobs.
There is the attempted murder charge, or the murder charge, I should say, second-degree murder charge. You believe that that is an overcharge and difficult to prove? Why?
So that requires that they prove that Mr. Mills acted with a reasonable degree of certainty with regard to his actions, that his actions were certain to cause death. And that's just simply not the case. When this video comes out, I expect that Mr. Mills will not be delivering blows that cause death.
Why do you believe that?
Because I've sat down with Mr. Mills, I've looked him in the eye, I know the kind of person he is. I've talked with other people who've seen the video, and I just don't believe that Mr. Mills is capable of committing that act.
What did he tell you about the confrontation?
I cannot tell you what my client has told.
Can you give us an indication of, you're saying that you don't believe that he delivered blows, so obviously in your conversations, he told you, I did not deliver blows.
He's not the only person I've talked to, Don.
Okay. You
So,
talked to others?
I've talked to others, and the levels of culpability amongst these 5 officers are different. And I expect that you're going to see in this video that my client, Desmond Mills, is not, in fact, guilty of the crimes he's been charged with.
Then why wouldn't he render aid?
Ooh, you heard that? Did you hear that, y'all? We're going to see some good stuff go on here with this trial. It's going to be interesting. Because he's already starting to separate. Now, mind you, he's an attorney of another one of the cops as well, ex-cops, but he's already starting to separate his clients from the other ones, which is a good idea.
If there were other people who were culpable. And go on, sorry.
I mean, there are circumstances we don't know about yet, whether Mr. Mills was injured, whether there's pepper spray flying in the air, what he was doing while others were acting in an unlawful way.
Did y'all hear that? Did you catch it? Did you catch it? Don Lemon is asking him, why didn't he render aid? He's already given the defense. He was one of the officers that got accidentally pepper sprayed, right? Yeah. So he was one of the officers that was down there beating on Tyree, beating on him. He was one that had hands on, because the ones that got pepper sprayed, when you look at the video, it was the ones that was on the ground with Tyree beating on him. So, and he already is saying that the other officers was acting unlawfully. Did y'all catch that? So he gonna separate. Yeah, it's gonna get juicy, very juicy, because I want to see the officers turn on each other. I want to see which one gonna be the first one to snitch. Let's finish.
Until I see that video, I can't say.
Speaking to the father of Tyree Nichols, he said there's videotape. The tape shows that Tyree was propped up against the wall, handcuffed, that he slumped over. The officers lift him back up and says, some expletives about sit up or get up. If he's sitting there, why officers couldn't just try to get him to a hospital to get aid to him, to the paramedics?
I haven't seen any of this.
I have.
When I do, I can comment on it. For now, I cannot answer that without having seen this video.
The reason that you believe that there's different levels of culpability is because of the amount of bail? Is that why you believe?
That's part of it. Part of it is just my discussions with my client, with the district attorney, with the U.S. attorney. I mean, I've been in constant contact with the prosecutors here. So while I haven't seen the video, I know a little bit about what's going on here. And I expect there's going to be different levels of action here. And so I caution everyone to look at this with an open mind and to treat each of these officers as individuals.
As you know, under these circumstances, when you have someone who's died and then that you have everyone involved, most people involved saying, listen, the videotape is damning. It's going to be hard to get some level of sympathy or empathy for your client. You have been saying that you've spoken to his family members and about the history and who Officer Mills is, or as a person and was as an officer.
Let me say this first, that my heart goes out to the Nichols family. As a defense lawyer, this is an interesting case for me. I have dedicated my professional life to fighting against injustice in this system, to fighting against a system where there is systemic racism for centuries. And to now find myself representing somebody who's a part of that system is an interesting position to be in. But I want to remind everybody that just because Mr. Mills was a part of that system doesn't mean that he can't also be a victim of it. And so it's my job to protect him and to protect his rights. And I'm doing that.
Did y'all hear that? He said that Mr. Mills is a part of a system, an injustice system, but he's also a victim of it. How in the heck is he a victim of anything and he a part of killing someone's kid? What makes him a victim? Like, how is he a victim of being a police officer, using his authority, using his badge, using his legs, arms, feet to kill innocent people? How is he a victim of an injustice system? Can't wait for this trial. Can't wait.
Not only because I believe in this system, but because I believe in Mr. Mills. I've talked to his family, I've talked to his father.
You believe in him
in the eye, and I've learned the kind of person Desmond Mills is. He is a good man. There are plenty of bad officers out there. There are plenty of good ones. The vast majority are good, and I believe Desmond Mills is a good person.
Why do you say he's a victim of the system?
I'm saying he could be a victim of the system. That just because he is a former officer, because he is part of the system that I, as a defense lawyer, spend my career fighting against, doesn't mean that now that he's on the other side, that he couldn't also become a victim of that. And so that's why I and all the other lawyers here are going to vigorously defend our clients.
Is he remorseful?
You know, he is remorseful that he is attached to anything like this, that he is involved or connected to the death of somebody whose life should not have been taken.
Right.
That is devastating to him.
He must be remorseful that there is someone who died.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you, Blake Ballin.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much.
It is. Nice. Yeah. So yeah, you can see how he's already trying to separate his clients, and that he's just speaking of Mills right there, because Mills was the last of them to bail out of jail, probably because he had to get that money together for that attorney, because I know he gonna cost a pretty penny. But yeah, he's already trying to separate him, talking about he's a good man, he's a victim of the injustice system. You're a part of it. You use your badge to kill somebody. Anyway, so I wanted to show that video to you guys because I wanted you guys to see what the defense is going to look like in this case. Because a lot of people is like, well, what kind of defense they going to have? They caught on camera doing a crime. Hey. These defense attorneys is very, 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 very tricky. Very tricky. They going to find some loopholes. Yeah, so, but what I think is interesting is that he threw the other ones under the bus, because he said that the other ones was doing some unlawful things. Yeah. So it looks like Mr. Mills or Mr. Smith is going to turn into a snitch. yeah, I don't know if they're gonna be eligible for a lighter sentence. I don't know how Memphis district attorney gonna look at that, because they really don't need anybody to snitch. Really, I mean, the video, the body cams, everything tell it all. But now, in regards to Officer Smith, he sent a statement in, and a brief statement in of what happened. He basically, in the beginning of it, said that he didn't want to talk about an ongoing case. He sent it in to, I guess, the investigator. I would call them internal affairs, but I don't know what Memphis calls them. But my girl, Miss Legalista, she is an attorney, and she broke it down. She broke it down. I'm gonna play her video, but I'm not gonna play her sound. I'm gonna read the statement, and I'm gonna see how that goes. I'll try to do it. I'm gonna read the statement to you guys just to see what this officer had to say about that night. He gave a brief description, but it's a lot of legal mumbo jumbo. That's what it is. Anyway, so let me share my screen. I'm going to do with the share screen stuff. I'm learning, y'all. Right here. Yeah. Wait, let me go here first and get it big. Okay. Why are you right here? All right, let me share this. Then I'll make it bigger. Right here. And let's see. Let me look at it. Okay. All right. So I know it looked like she's on here with me, but she's not. She's on her own. This is her YouTube channel. And go to my girl channel and tune in to a like, share, subscribe to her channel. Also like, share, and subscribe to mine. Trying to get it off the ground. So just going to be doing a little content. But I love Miss Legalista videos because she breaks down a lot of topics to people such as myself that don't know legal terms very well and all of that stuff. So she put it in layman terms for me. But anyway, so let me hold on. How did I get here? Okay, I see now. All right. For some reason, I don't know why how my settings got off, but I'm gonna try to fix it. Okay, so let's go to her video. And I don't know. Let me see. I don't know how I'm gonna play it, but I'm gonna play it as she's scrolling down because she's reading it, but I'm gonna read it to you. So this is former Memphis police officer Justin Smith invokes Fifth Amendment in newly released document. Let's see what he got to say. I would state for the record that on January 7th, 2023, I assisted another officer in making an arrest of a non-compliant suspect. My first interaction with that suspect was that suspect fighting with the officer and failing to comply in our attempts to take the suspect into custody. On the day in question, I was directed to be on desk duty because of an on-the-job injury, which was serious enough to disable my abilities by way of a knee injury suffered the preceding day. So he basically hurt his knee the day before all of this happened, and he was supposed to be on desk duty. Even though I was directed to be on desk duty, I was directed by my supervisors to be on patrol. While on stationary observation duties, as directed, dispatches were made where an officer needed assistance after an officer had attempted to investigate a traffic stop. It was stated in the radio dispatch that the suspect had been tased as well as sprayed with OC spray, pepper spray, and had fled the scene. Let's see if I can. Hold on. Even though no one else requested medical assistance because of the reported tasing and chemical spray, hold on, I immediately made a radio call and indicated that medical should be sent to the area where the suspect was last seen to possibly render medical aid if the suspect was taken into custody. So he's already trying to say, y'all, that he requested medical assistance even before I guess this is meaning before they caught him, because he said, I immediately made a radio call and indicated that medical should be sent to the area where the suspect was last seen to possibly render medical aid if the suspect was taken into custody. So I guess that's at the scene where they actually beat Tyree. And so let me see. I then came upon one officer taking what was later learned to be the same. Hold on. Let me go back because she stopped and I want to see that last part of the document. Okay, I got to get better. Yep, this is where I want to stop when she scroll down here. Hold on, y'all. Okay, let me pause right here. Hold up. Okay. I then came upon one officer taking what was later learned to be the same suspect to the ground. So when he drove up, he basically is saying that the same suspect that ran, Tyree ran, he drove up to the scene where they're taking him to the ground. I assisted the officer in our attempts to take that suspect into custody. The suspect was violent and would not comply. Guys, y'all gotta go see that video, because this kid at this point was out of it. He had ran all of them blocks. When the video picked up on him, when they was beating him, he was already on the ground. He was out of it. It is my contention that I personally utilized the training and defensive tactics provided to me as a Memphis police officer in attempting to handcuff the suspect. And I'm going to stop right there because I done said a mouthful with that one. Really. He is basically, and this is Justin Smith, and I think this is Justin Smith. He's basically saying that, and that's going to be his defense. I use the tactics that y'all taught me to use. So what he's going to do is, and what that defense attorney said on when Don Lemon was interviewing him, is that my client is a victim of an injustice system. So what Smith is basically saying is, if you saying that I did something wrong, where you did something wrong with teaching me to do something wrong, which is correct, which is why a lot of people is asking for police reform, defunding the police, whatever that means, and all of this other crazy stuff. Well, not crazy stuff, but all of this other stuff that should be taken into account, so we won't be losing our children, our kids, people, to an injustice system of corrupt police brutality. So this officer is basically already snitching on the police department. He's already snitching. He's already basically saying, everything that I did, y'all taught me to do. How I joined in on to detain Tyre Nichols, y'all taught me how to do that. Y'all taught me that. So, once again, I say, this trial is going to be interesting. It is going to be interesting. All right, guys. So, I'm going to close this out. I wanted to talk to y'all. I've been talking for a whole hour. I gave y'all a lot of information, but it's a lot more out there. So I want to say, if you're interested in this case, go out there and look at it. It's a lot of information out there. But if you don't have the time, come here to the Tree Tip Show. I'm going to keep updating you as I get more information, okay? I will see you guys later, because my husband is getting off soon, and that's my time with him. So until next time, guys, next Thursday, my sis should be back. We're going to start back off where we left off at. We're going to talk about some marriage stuff. We're going to go in deep with some stuff. So join us, and I'm going to pick another time to come on here and update you guys on the Tyre Nichols case. I also want to talk to you guys about Triple X. I cannot pronounce the rapper's other name. Tentacion? Something like that. Anyway, his murder trial. Well, he's the victim. He was murdered. The trial for the young man that allegedly the state is saying murdered him. Their trial is happening, and I've been following it closely. It's some good stuff that took place in the trial, so I'm going to update on that as well. But I'm not going to update on that trial until it's over with, until the jury deliberate and give their decision on those young men's life, basically. So until next time, tune in to Tree Tips, y'all. We're gonna be coming with some good stuff. I got a busy life, but I still love to talk, especially about current events and about marriage stuff, because that's where my life is at. Anyway, until next time, love you guys for tuning in. See you later. Smooches.